Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about love. You know the song too? Salt and Pepper. Y'all remember that song? Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to have the big conversation about sex with your children. Yes, it's uncomfortable on both sides, but if you think just not talking about it is a good idea, I'm here to tell you it's not a good idea. And I'm not a doctor of any sort. I'm basically just giving you the information that I used and how I discussed things with my daughter. Number one, I think you should start early. When they're toddlers, you should teach them the right name to their body parts: vagina and penis, not cookie and muffin and all of that stuff. You should teach them about safe touch and about their private areas, and that they do not have to be touched in their private areas, and what's a good touch and what's a bad touch. As she got older, when she was in elementary school, we talked about what was coming up as far as puberty. I had to discuss with her when her period was gonna come. Funny story. So she started her period, and well, she had dots. She doesn't mind me talking about this, by the way. She had dots, and she told me about it that morning, and it was like I was in denial. So I sent her to school, and she was fine. And then, like, within an hour of being at school, she was calling me. She was in the bathroom, and she's like, "Mom, I think I fully got my period now. Like, I'm cramping. And I was like, okay, I'm on my way. I was just in denial. I was not ready for her to have that, because I knew now I have to explain to her, you can get pregnant. And there are children in middle school who are having sex, whether you believe it or not. So we had to have that talk, and then just dealing with the hormones. Ladies, you know what it's like. It's a lot. And when I was a teenager, I was like sweating on the bathroom floor. It's kind of weird. I'm like going backwards. Like how I was as a teen on my period is how I seem to be now. Whereas the in between, I was fine. It was shorter. It was not, as bad as it is now. So yeah, having that discussion is important before it even gets there. When they're teen, I think this is when you should discuss relationships, contraception, STIs, and just the emotional readiness. I discuss with my daughter constantly about the fact that there's a lot that comes with sharing your body with another person. You think it's just a physical thing. It's an emotional thing. There's ties to this person. The sleeping with as many people as they have, that's a real thing. And then just how you feel. As adults, we can barely handle what goes on sexually and in relationships. So it's a lot for a teenager. So those are things that I discussed. I told her, had I had pictures of what a vagina looked like with an STD, that's what I would be showing her. I did show her actually a couple of things, because I think you have to sometimes give them that shock value. It's almost like they don't believe it till they see it type of thing. Some things I'm sure they do, but she got to see what it looks like. Number two, I would say, this kind of ties back into the using real language. When you're speaking to them, use penis, use vagina, use pregnancy. You can even talk about specific STDs, because that was another thing I told her. There's some, you can take a pill and get rid of that, and there's some you cannot. You can maybe manage, but they're not going to just go away. That's important to tell them. Number three, match their development. So a lot of times I wouldn't necessarily discuss something unless she brought it up, because I didn't know where she was at with it. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, well, I'm not going to just throw things out there. But if she asked me, which my daughter is not the type to really throw too many things out there, but when things came up, she did talk to me about it. She's gotten better over the years about it, because she knows I'm pretty open. I want to talk about it all, because I didn't want no teen pregnancy. I didn't want her to be in a situation where she's doing something she doesn't want to do. So she's never been in a relationship though, so we didn't have those talks about that. We did have those talks about that, but she hasn't gone through it, is what I mean. I would say don't overload. With my daughter, I can't overload her with information. She shuts down, which I understand. You can only take so much. So I think you gotta kind of give it to them in doses. Number 4, create a safe space. I always tell my daughter, no questions are off limits. I will not be mad at you for anything. You won't get in trouble. I'm always here for you to talk and for me to just listen. I don't have to respond to everything that you say. I can literally just listen to what's on your mind. And a lot of times, that's how my daughter is. I just sit back and she will talk to me about whatever it is that's on her mind. Or she'll specifically ask, Mom, what about this? Or Mom, what does this mean? Or whatever. So leave that space open, because a lot of times out of nowhere, they'll spring something on you and you're looking like, wait, what? You didn't even know these things were on their mind. Number 5, teach values. Talk about respecting yourself, respecting your body. Talk about love. Talk about the responsibility of having sex with another person. That is a big responsibility, because what can come with that? It can be an STD, it could be a pregnancy. Also, like I said, there's that emotional connection that you sometimes won't even notice is there until way after the fact. So definitely have that conversation and let them kind of know how you feel about respecting your body and what you value and what's important to you in a relationship. A lot of times our children mimic what they see. So how you are might be the road that they go down. One of the things that I saw that was something that you could discuss with your child, which this comes up sometimes. They say use social media, and with our children, they are big on social media. So if she sees something on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, I want her to come to me and ask me, and not just believe whatever's seen out there, because we all know everything is not real, everything is not true, especially now with AI. People are just making up stuff. So I want her to come to me and ask me, and not just believe whatever's thrown out there. And lastly, don't wait for the perfect moment. If you're waiting for that perfect moment to have a conversation with your child, that moment will not come. You've got to take what you can get. If it's a car ride, if it's a casual walk, if it's them helping you with dinner, whenever you feel like this could be a good moment to have this conversation. It's just us, it's casual, because this is the other thing. You don't want to spring this conversation on them in front of other people either. That can make them feel uncomfortable. So find those good moments. A lot of times I find when me and my daughter are just riding in the car, a long ride, or we're just chilling at home and she's scrolling, she'll stop scrolling and start talking to me about things. And we've sat there and talked for 2 and 3 hours about stuff before. So you just gotta catch them whenever you can catch them, but don't wait for the perfect moment. There won't be a perfect moment. You gotta get in there when you can. Also, I wanted to say, you have to make yourself relatable. A lot of times our kids don't want to talk to us about things because they're like, they don't know. Like my daughter, she used to say, yeah, I just felt like you only had sex when you got pregnant with me, and that's it. I'm like, yeah, sorry, that's not how that works. So I'm not saying you have to tell all your business to your children, but you have to seem relatable. You have to seem like you know what it's like to have these feelings and hormones and emotions for someone, because they're looking at you like you haven't been touched, like you don't do these things, like, oh, it's just what they see on TV. Or my daughter said, we were talking about how the highest group of people with STDs is the elderly, and that's a topic for another time. And she's like, the elderly, what are they doing still having sex? I'm like, excuse me? I said, if anything, they should be the ones having sex, not you young people who aren't married, who aren't in relationships necessarily. And I'm like, yeah, but this is how some young people think. Like, you get to a certain age and that stops and those feelings stop. And I'm like, yeah, that's not how that goes. So I think when you seem relatable, a lot of times my daughter talks to me about things because she feels like I get it. She knows I've been through some things, and that's important for them to open up to you. So that's all I have for today. You guys, make sure you comment below what you think, or what are some good ideas that you maybe have used to talk to your kids about sex. I'll see you guys next video.